It's Dragon Ball time! Hello, welcome to another figure review. Today we're gonna have a look at the SH Figuarts Android number 21 from the game Dragon Ball FighterZ Bandai Tamashii Nations. Logos and stuff, box, regular SH Figuarts box style. Nothing new here, and it's weird. It's just been a couple of days where I had a look at the Mega House Android 21, and then good old 21 arrives in the Figuarts version. So more 21 means more fun, but this one's articulated, so let's see how they did. Alright, having a look at size of the figure, straighten out your legs, girl. She stands about 15 and a half, almost 16 centimeters to the top of her, well, more like the back of her hair, if we're going up all the way to that. But overall, for the inches, 6.3 inches overall in size. Now, overall look and detail of the figure. I'm gonna start off with the face, because here's the deal, guys. I've been looking at this face and all the other faces for a while now, and I don't like it. Is it that the eyes are too close to each other? Is it that the eyes are too big? I don't know. Something just seems off about the face, for me. I don't know if I'm maybe tripping, but I really looked at a lot of different pictures from the face sculpt. But anyway, other than that, it is nicely done, it is nicely painted, is what I mean. You got the gold earrings, which are pretty big, not movable, just in there, but it looks good anyway. And you got the gold choker going around her neck. But what is done very nicely, in fact, is the hair sculpt. The hair sculpt actually looks amazing. There's a ton of detail in it. It looks like it does in the game, really flowy, going all the way around. And they even put some articulation in there, which we're gonna have a look at later. But it overall looks and works very nicely together. Now, the one thing with the paint, obviously as far as the rest of the figure goes, there's not that much to it. It is a fan servicey design as such. You're not having much cloth on her, but the thing is, we have paint bleeding once again on the edges from the black that goes to the skin tone. It is not that bad, it is barely noticeable, but it is there, just keep that in mind. And you got the gold rings. I really like the gold on this one, it's really vibrant and shiny, it looks good. Also has painted fingernails, those are done very nice. It's a little bit shiny as well as fingernail polish should be. And you got the one ring in the middle finger. As we move down to the gold kind of belt that goes around, and the pants, white, has a ton of weird articulation points in it, which again we'll get to. I mean, it does get the job done. And some random shading at the tips over here. I don't know if you can even tell, but there is some shading in the figure, but it's just this random, just slap some of it over there and be done with it. So to the point where it's not even worth noticing. And you got the tail, also articulated, and the bottom you got the shoes with the gold tips and the gold rings going around with the heels on it. Looks pretty good overall. For your articulation, the first thing I noticed for the figure, she's pretty loose in some parts, and that's not a joke intended. But she's more being held together by the certain parts of the figure itself. She's being held on her legs by the tail, and the torso can be kind of controlled with the hair, and that's just some pointers. But anyway, the main articulation, the head is on a ball hinge, goes forward pretty nicely, doesn't go to the back unless we lift the hair up. And then it still doesn't really go that much to the back. There you go. Does tilt side to side, does rotate all the way around, and the hair is on a big hinge. Has some rotation on it, has some wiggle motion. Goes up very, very far actually. I'm impressed with that. And obviously goes down until you reach the torso. And it's kind of molded in a way so it fits the torso, so it doesn't stand out weirdly. It's pretty nicely done. And then we got a ball hinge, big ball hinge that's just kind of packed into the torso. Doesn't really have that much range as such. Just a little bit of wiggle motion, doesn't really go forward that much. You have a bicep swivel, but also with the hinge goes up and down over 45 degrees. What you also can do with a shoulder joint is pull it out, although I don't really know what that's supposed to accomplish other than make it look even more wonky. I mean, honestly, it doesn't add anything to the articulation. Then a simple hinge in the elbow, and another ball hinge in the hands, goes forward, back. I always want to say fists, because usually the figures come with fists, just not this one. Chest articulation, as I mentioned, it's pretty loose, but it does get some good motion. Doesn't leave any gaps. That's something we've had recently a lot. Goes side to side, goes not all the way around. It's pretty blocked over there, so I wouldn't force it. Lower torso, as I mentioned, very, very loose actually. This one doesn't even want to stay in place. Goes forward, back, has some wiggle motion, and this one also doesn't go all the way around. Goes back a lot, that's one thing. Then this piece is just floaty, so you can completely rotate that around and just adjust to the motion. I mean, it looks pretty seamless over here. It doesn't leave any holes, doesn't leave any gaps, so I guess that's fine. Then for the tail, this piece, which just sticks out, and I don't know why they did that. Why not just pack the ball joint in there? Because this just kind of looks weird. Anyway, there's a ball hinge, goes up and down, rotates all around. You also got a swivel in the tail, which doesn't break up the sculpt, so that's pretty nice. Now for the legs. Goes forward a lot, goes to the back a lot, looks very nice, looks pretty seamless, goes out to the side, also has rotation over here, kind of thigh swivel. But then the knees, it's okay. The motion on it is pretty good considering the big knee, the big puffy pants. But why the gaps? It looked so much better on the Super Boo, on the Evil Boo, which we just recently had, which was one of the best figures in general. This one, like I'm saying, it's still okay. I don't wanna rag on it too much, but it's not as nice. And the foot rotates around, goes to forward. And this one is really stiff, forward, back, and we have a toe hinge, and also, does it go outside? Yes, obviously, there you go, that. For the accessories, we got a couple of faces, and just like I mentioned before, there's something with the eyes, especially with this one, you have the thick lines, but do you notice anything? You got the good face, you got the maniacal laugh, and just like kind of like a smirk. She's always looking in a certain direction. We don't have a single face where she just looks straight. Looks down here, looks to the right, and then looks to the right, and then she looks to the left on the basic face, on the face that was on the figure in the case. What? Then we have a donut. It's bitten off a piece. If it would focus, camera, now don't look at the back. Look at what's in front of you. Oh, yeah. That's why I keep it in the plastic. Fumbling around with my thumbs is really annoying. But anyway, open hands, got these two, kind of a little bit more grabby pose, this one also grabby pose, pointy finger, or like when she transforms somebody into candy, and like a more relaxed hand, and this one for, I'm guessing the donut, can slide it in there, and she has a snack, and one blast hand. Also with the hands, it's kind of weird, we got one blast hand, and then she got like the superposable, like posing hands on the figure already. That's fine, but you don't get something as basic as fist hands. And as I mentioned, you only get one blast hand, not two. So, it's just so weird. It's kind of random. And that's gonna bring me to the final thoughts of this Android 21 figure. What do I think about this one? Overall, this figure's weird. It's just like, here's the deal. The mold is amazing, the paint job is very nice, and the articulation for the most part is good. It's just some small parts which are really iffy. It's like I'm saying, the faces, that could just be me. I'm really wondering what you guys have to say. If you say, well, the face is fine, or if some of you say, like, yeah, you have a point. I really want to know that. And then for the rest of it, the accessories also for the hands, it's just random. Why do we have faces that always look in a certain direction and not one that just looks straight at you? It's, like I'm saying, it's small things that kind of get on my nerves. And overall, at the end of the day, the figure itself is still good, so I do still recommend her. But yeah, there's just some things that kind of annoy me. And again, guys, let me know in the comments what you think about the faces, that they always look in a direction, and you have this weird, random selection of hands where just get one blast hands and no fist hands, and what's up with that? I want to know. So, still, at the end of the day, recommend it because the figure is solid. And yeah, if you like Android 21, yeah, then you're not doing anything wrong with this one. That's gonna do it, guys. As usual, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this review, hit it up with a like and subscribe to the channel so you can stay tuned for more figure reviews, gameplay stuff, and whatever Android 21 wants. And I tried to zoom in. There you go.